Got it. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It is so great to see so many people here to celebrate Hunter's life. My name is Rene Herlong, and John and Ann asked me to come and share with you some aspects of Hunter's life from his medical life and from his life at Camp Luck. And I am so honored to be able to do that here for you today. I'm a pediatric cardiologist. I was only Hunter's doctor occasionally when he needed me, but I was his constant friend. And I'm so proud to be able to tell you that. Before I start sharing with you some things about those aspects of Hunter's life, let me give you a few definitions here. Hunter had something called congenital heart disease, something that he was born with his heart. He had a particularly rough form of congenital heart disease because he only had one half of the heart that most of us have. And he had to go through a series of surgeries and other interventions to try to make it so he could live with that half a heart. But I can tell you that congenital heart disease did not define Hunter. Hunter used his congenital heart disease to reach out and touch and influence and impact other folks. Camp Luck is an organization that Hunter embraced. Before there was Camp Luck, there was Levine Cardiac Kids, and Hunter and his family were big parts of that. And that morphed into Camp Luck. Luck is an acronym. It stands for Lucky Unlimited Cardiac Kids. And I'm one of the leaders of Camp Luck as well. And I can tell you that we in Camp Luck were lucky to have Hunter amongst us. So what I'd like to do here is to share some parts of Hunter's life with you. And I want to do that by talking to Hunter because he's here with us today and he will always be part of us. And it seems weird for me as Hunter's sometimes doctor and all the time friend to talk about him, so I'm going to talk to him. Okay? So Hunter, look at all these people here. They came here to honor you. You once told me, I'm a forest kind of person. I'm a bottom line kind of person. So the forest here is, Hunter, you told me once that you wanted to make a difference. You wanted to make an impact in this world. What greater proof can there be that all these people came here because you impacted them in their lives? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell some stories about you that some of these people may not know because you were such a complex person. You had so many facets to your life. So I met you, Hunter, you may not remember this, but you and your mother were there at family camp in CJ7, standing around the flagpole. And here was this tall guy who I had never seen before, who I learned had a real wry sense of humor, and who I learned could dance like you wouldn't believe. And when that family camp was over, I said, Hunter, you know, you're a pretty good guy. Maybe you should become part of this. And he said, I'm going to. So the next year, Hunter, you came to learn how to be a counselor at Camp Luck so you could influence other folks. And of course, we train our staff. Some of them have lived with congenital heart disease their whole lives, and some of them don't know much about it. So we have to teach them about it. And one thing I have always done in training is I've always said, now, is there any person, any guy here who will come forward and take off their shirt so that I can show people what congenital heart disease means, what these surgeries mean? And Hunter, you were the first one up there. You probably remember that. And you took off your shirt, and you were the perfect example because there is nothing that we do in medicine to anybody or for anybody that you didn't have done to you. And so you helped me teach other people about what you had gone through. You helped me teach other people about what it was like to only have half a heart and have your heart fixed so that it would be okay. And then the kids came, and you were paired with one of the best counselors Camp Cherokee had ever had, because you know we have Camp Luck physically at Camp Cherokee. And this guy, his name was Happy Gilmore. That's his name. I'm not making this up. And Hunter, I'm not sure whether you've heard this story, but I'm going to tell it to you now in case you haven't. Happy said to himself, he told me this now, Happy said to himself, I got a rookie. I'm going to have to be the guy here, because this Hunter, he's never been a counselor before at Camp Luck or Camp Cherokee or anything, so I'm just going to have to really step up. And then when the first kid got there, they gravitated toward you, Hunter. And when the second kid got there, they gravitated toward you. And there was Happy sitting there saying, this is unusual. And then Happy said, it hit me. Hunter has been through what they have been through. And Hunter knows how to do it. That's why they gravitate toward him. And so, Hunter, you displaced the person who today is now the camp director of Camp Cherokee. So hats off to you. That was your first time as a counselor. And then every year, Hunter, you kept coming back, and you kept becoming a better and better leader and a better and better role model. And in between years at Camp Luck, you went through all sorts of health struggles, even brain surgery, but then you always kept coming back because you were always a survivor. And I want to tell you another thing, Hunter, I'm not sure you realize this either, but the medical people involved in your lives all loved you. It is not common for when you graduate from the children's part of the hospital to the adult part of the hospital for us pediatric folks to keep coming to see you and keep checking up on you and keeping an eye on all these adult nurses and so forth, because we're not sure they know what you need. That's not common, Hunter. That's very uncommon. We did that because of who you were, the kind of person you were who touched our lives so much. Now, the culmination, Hunter, of your life at Camp Luck was when I asked you to become a leader of our youth board of directors, because these are people who are going to be the future leaders of Camp Luck. And I don't know again whether you remember this, but the first thing you said to me was, I'm not sure I can do that. I'm not real good at organizing things and stuff like that. I said, Hunter, man, I don't care. What I want you to do is just to be Hunter. And by being Hunter, you'll rub off on other folks, because we need more Hunters at Camp Luck. And of course you said, yes, I can do that. I said, I know you can. And that's when you told me, what I really want to do is I want to make a difference. And I said, man, you will make a difference. And there's folks over here now in the Camp Luck community who will tell you, yes, you made a huge difference in their lives. Even you got what I think was called Person of the Year, but I see back here on this table there's a little thing and it says Brave Heart Award. But what it really means is, Hunter, you were the Person of the Year in Camp Luck last year. So from this tall guy standing over here at Flagpole to one of the absolute leaders of Camp Luck, you made a journey and you made a difference. Now, I'm going to switch gears here a little bit and tell you another story. And this is something that just recently happened, came to my mind, I guess you'd say. In the bathrooms of our pediatric cardiology clinic, there are some pictures from Camp Luck, Hunter. I'm sure you've seen them before. There's one where you're playing tug of war at Camp Luck in Central area on the volleyball court. And you have this horrible look on your face, like you were trying to move the world with this rope. And Ford Montel is right in front of you. And he has this little mask on with a fake nose and glasses. So you both have a little mask on your face. And everybody knew, who was an adult, that you weren't trying to kill yourself by pulling on this thing, but you were fooling all those other kids. And I remember them saying, wow, We must be really strong because look how Hunter is struggling to pull this thing. You see, you had him fooled, okay? You faked a struggle. Well, there's another time, Hunter, that you faked in life, and that was in your medical life, and you did the opposite of that. You faked the absence of a struggle. Because I'll never forget this. I came to see you in the hospital. How you doing, Hunter? Better than I deserve to be. I'm sure many of these folks here heard you say the same thing. I was like, Hunter, man, you deserve to be way better than you are. But you faked the absence of a struggle. And so why did you do those things? Why did you put on those faces? Because you were doing it for other folks. Okay? You were doing it for the benefit of others. For you lived your life for the benefit of others. And what better can be said of any person on this earth than that they lived their life for the benefit of others? And what more perfect proof than, yes, you did matter in your time here on earth? And I must say just a couple of more things here. It was not lost on me that you left this earth on Christmas Day, that holy day when we celebrate the birth of Christ. But I'll tell you, Hunter, it was fitting that you left this earth on a holy day because you were indeed a holy person. So we will miss you, Hunter Gillette. But when we do, I'm going to share a practice with you, Hunter. You can do this from up there, and we can do this from down here. But one of my spiritual teachers told me that when you miss someone, just look at your hand because the person is there. So, Hunter, when I miss you, I'm going to look at my hand because you are a part of me. You will always be a part of me. I have been changed by knowing you. So, Hunter, I'm going to miss you, man. Godspeed, Hunter.